stop button or something.
But that one meeting was 2 hours, so it had 8 files.
I saw 4 in the last meeting. Last 4 or
One that was dated January. There were 8 files for that.
oh, that's like 5 hours meeting.
That I concatenated them into 2. But this is
3. The last one on February 11th was 3. I just copied into the laptop and I deleted the stuff from the SD card.
Is this recording to the laptop or
It's on the SD.
it's just on here, so it still has to be copied from here.
It is also recorded in the Apex site.
On the WebEx.
The website itself.
Have you tried looking at the file on the WebEx?
I don't know.
Because I mean, this is really a pain to have to. It's a pain to upload. Well, hopefully they won't. You know, 6, 7, whatever, 15-minute clips, and then it's a pain if you try to merge them together and then upload it. I'm just hoping we can find something easy somehow. But it'd be interesting to see if it's on the WebEx site. Is it one file that we can just load to YouTube?
Yeah, but it's not going to be as clear. It's not going to be as clear.
The other issue
The quality is much better. 17. Yeah.
Big problem is the sound. You can hear Dan, a couple people next to him. You can sort of, I mean, I'm watching this on my TV, so I have the TV. I'm turning up as loud as I can. And my hearing's not as good as yours is, but I can't hear any questions being asked. I can't hear some of the board members that are away from the microphone. So we have to think about something with how to test this.
I think like a polycom kind of microphone we might.
We could make it very good, but we want the more specific ones. We could
I know, but
top mic, so
what Dave doesn't have to understand is if it's almost useless, then it's already
or maybe someone like to speak about it.
How are you guys?
Yeah, speak up.
Yeah. Did you get it? He came like within like 3-4 minutes. Okay. They were inside. Even though I was not in the meeting. So I sent the email.
I was just expressing something. I'm watching movies on my TV at home. That sound is wrong. So
no one's going to do
That sound was good.
Did you change the password?
Okay, so repeat the question. I did a better job asking, making sure we had, is anybody on the
This one will
You have my word. All right. Yes, it will. It will not go to 11. You have no idea.
Oh, yeah. No way.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. No, that's your fault. It's the committee. You're awfully serious.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. call the meeting, just so we can try to stay on time. I've had a number of comments, obviously, about the meetings running over, so we're going to move quickly, as quickly as we can. I should start with roll call, but we've got some folks that are coming in late, so I'll start roll call at Wanda's end this time, in the hopes that by the time we get down to the other end, everybody will be here except for Bob.
Wanda Navarro.
Jose Cabrera.
Francine Stavisky.
Mike McJack.
Dan Thomas.
Terry Farmer.
Yes. And I know Jacques is here, and Bob Height is absent. He is overseas, so he will not be here. And we're missing our property manager. So she's been, I haven't seen Christine, but we're informed that she is here. Hopefully she'll show up to prepare the minutes. That would be helpful if we had the agenda. So I'm gonna go right into the minutes approval. I don't know if anybody has received the minutes. I know we went through and they were emailed back and forth. I believe that everybody that had comments on the minutes had a chance to comment for an adequate period of time. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting that we had.
I'll motion to approve.
That's second.
I don't know if there's a need for any discussion, so I'm just going to call the question. All those in favor of approving the minutes from the last meeting of the board, say aye. 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 Those opposed? None opposed? Okay, so it passes. Thank you, Christine. So we're going to go right into the, before we go into some of these reports, I want to just recognize some folks that are guests tonight. With us tonight, John Tagg from First Services. John is a vice president at First Services.
Right.
And probably other official titles.
No, that's my title, Vice President of the Jupiter office, which obviously encompasses a big area of North Palm Beach County. So that's my title. That's what I get to do.
Right.
And Katie Phillips is here as well. She's one of the regional directors that is really very hands-on with associations like this.
And John, if you could just give us a brief overview of kind of your territory and then how Katie fits in.
Sure.
So everybody in the room has that understanding.
You know, one of the changes from kind of the old structure to the new structure of First Service is that we have a regional director position that's really very hands-on with all of the managers at all of our sites across North Palm Beach County. We go from Southern Boulevard up to Cuesta for our office, for example. And besides the managers on site that obviously take care of the day-to-day, there's also a regional director that specifically their job is to work with those managers. They have no other portfolio, no other work to do, except to make sure those managers actually do their job. So that's the structure we have in place now.
Great, thanks for going through that.
Of course.
And we're going to have some questions that the board has. I've asked John and Katie to attend tonight so that we can ask some questions about our association and our level of service from our property manager level and above, as well as some of the inner workings of First Services and how that's related to our association in the past and both into the future. So I know board members have questions, and we're going to probably move a couple of items up so we can get you out of here at a reasonable time. But I appreciate you making the time to come. I know you had other things on your schedule.
We're looking forward to going over whatever we need to. I mean, obviously, the management structure and us making changes and doing things that are more beneficial to every association happens all the time. So we're willing to do whatever it takes to make things work.
Okay, great. Thanks, John.
Yep.
We'll be back to you.
Okay.
So let's go into the financial report. Jose?
Yes. Hello, everyone. The financial numbers for the month of January 2015. Please note that this is our first month of the fiscal year, so it's the same as the year to date. Fees collected and other income was $139,762.91. Expenses were $132,616.63. So we had a surplus of $7,146.28. Moving along, the finance committee met with Kevin Payne from Proctor on our Monday meeting, and our 2014 independent audit is ongoing, along with the preparation and the submission of all applicable federal and state forms. Once the audit is complete, Proctor will present the audit report in a draft form to the finance committee. Once the audit report is finalized, the finance committee will present it to the board.
Okay, great.
If you decide to have them come into the general meeting, there might be extra fees.
Okay.
Also, Francine Stavisky from the social committee, she's the chair of the social committee. She came and presented a budget for social activities throughout the year of $13,000. The finance committee fully supports the activities, have allocated the budget, and encouraged the board to approve accordingly. And that's the report.
I just have a question about
Yes, please.
the auditor. Is it strictly to the finance committee, or are we gonna have the auditor come in and present to the board? Because he said he was only gonna do one. And I kind of want to get the feeling from the board on how they feel.
I think from what Jose, if I understood Jose correctly, that Proctor was not going to come present to the board, but if they wanted them to, they would, but that there would be an extra cost. So I think what I was going to ask.
Well, what he said was he would do only one.
I think, I don't want to presume anything, but I'm assuming that Proctor will come to 2 meetings if we offer to pay the bill for
Correct.
2 meetings.
And let me clarify. One of the meetings that is part of the fees, it's going to be presented in the draft form. That means there's going to be more changes. So it'll be unproductive to move to meet with the whole board in case there are more changes.
I agree that it makes sense to have a draft report provided to the committee. The committee banters back and forth, and then at some point, the results of that come to the board. I guess what I'm going to be looking for, I would want to know as the president, and I'm sure the other board members may want to know, the finance committee's recommendation as to whether we should have Proctor come here and explain any issues. And so we would look for a recommendation from the finance committee for that. I can't imagine that it would be too terribly expensive to have them come and explain things, but we would leave that up to the finance committee to make that recommendation of the additional expenses necessary, which would be over and above the $7,500 expense, I assume. Yes, okay. Does that address your concerns? I mean, obviously, if we end up having them come to the board, it would be something that we would have questions about based on the report that they're providing. Does that satisfy your concern? Because I want to make sure that the firm is able to answer any questions that you may have. You're going to be at the finance committee meetings observing, right?
Well, no, I'm there, and I personally don't have a problem with where they do it. But I just thought it would be, the finance committee was pretty much like, well, it's going to be very technical, so we should just leave it here. But we're not filming them, and our homeowners, it's like the first time we're getting an audit. So I thought that it would be more beneficial. It's just my personal opinion, I'm just speaking out. It would be beneficial for everyone to have the presentation of that audit be made at a board meeting rather than just the finance committee. But that's just my personal feeling, and I'm just putting it out there.
Okay. Well, maybe, like I said, maybe the finance committee can make a recommendation about that. I mean, I guess my only concern would be having a 3-hour meeting about financial nuances that maybe can be addressed through your attendance at the finance committee when we're discussing a final draft as opposed to at a general board meeting.
Right.
And any homeowner is obviously welcome to attend the finance committee meeting at any point in time as well. We can make sure that that's something that everybody knows about. You can attend the finance committee meeting. So.
Well, maybe when they do come and make that, then just should be announced, and anybody that wants to come will just come.
Yeah, but we could also keep blast out when the final report is going to be made by Proctor. I think would be a smart thing to do. So.
That's probably better.
Okay, great. Any other items on the financial report?
No.
Okay, great. Thank you. President's report is next. I really don't have a lot to add other than I will tell you that at the request of all the board members that I've been doing a lot of things working on and interfacing with folks on a lot of the new business items that we're going to be covering, so I don't need to detail those or be redundant. But leading up to the discussion that we're going to have with First Services, obviously a lot of issues and questions that have come up about service and the way things are handled by the management company for the association, both in the past and in the future, have been things that I've been getting a lot of feedback from homeowners on. And so I have, along with other board members, we've talked generally about, one-on-one, of course, about how we can address the service issues. How we can, I think that folks that have been watching this board as we've started to act since we were placed up here, we've tried to start following up and creating methods of accountability for follow-up. Work orders, you've heard us talk about work order issues and things like that. This issue with having the management company here and the representatives of the management company is another step in that process of us trying to make sure that when a homeowner has a concern and it's raised to the management company, that it's followed through and that it's actually closed out. So we've been talking about things like calendaring and tickling things and making sure that there is follow-up, that there's closure on issues that are open. As part of that process, I have been working with First Services, with John specifically, in looking at candidates for management positions. And so we have been talking about that, and that's one of the reasons why they're here tonight, is because we are going to talk about the needs of our association, the desires of our association, and exactly what we are looking to accomplish. Because there seems to be a sort of a faction of folks, or a grouping, I'd say, of folks that are not happy with the management company and want a complete change from the management company. They want a different management company. Then there are folks that say, hey, we like the management company, we just need some different individuals, or we have staffing issues, we're understaffed, we're over capacity, etc. And then we have another group that says, hey, we're just fine and nothing needs to happen. So as the president, I have a duty to you all to make sure that we vet that issue. And I've asked them to come here tonight, and the board is going to ask them questions, and we'll get to those. But I wanted everybody to have a context as to why this is happening. This is another step in our attempt to make sure that we have steps for accountability at every level as we go through this year. So that's my president's report. Christine, can you go ahead and go through the management or the manager's report, please?
Sure.
Thanks.
We have workflow reports. We have 47 work orders. Of that, 4 landscapes are still open, 1 maintenance, none of the others. Sales, we had 2 sales, 1 lease. Violations, 49, and website requests 274. This week, a lot of my time obviously was spent on fence issues, was out there all the time, and I have to apologize to some people that I didn't reply to their emails until late at night. But we did get to the bottom of that.
I know you had a busy week on a lot of Okay, thank you.
I have a question for Steve.
Sure, go ahead.
Just going over and looking at our owner balance sheets, we have a lot of first lates, it seems, this month. Is that due to the mail drop issue that we had, that homeowners are not aware that their payments have been not hit or have not hit?
No.
Are we sure of that?
Positive of that.
Like the issue that, like, and not to put Jocks out, but the issue that Jocks had where the payment, his payment was sent, something happened with the U.S. Postal or whatnot between the PO box and getting to First Services, where it was